Here we go.
Well, Mr. President.
For a second time. Barack, very nice to see you.
Congratulations. How you doing?
A lot better, Dan.
Yeah, I bet. Knew you'd win.
Oh, really? Oh, come on. Anyone could beat her.
Kidding
She's
me?
just...
I was just as appalled. You know what happened? He just didn't want to leave.
I know.
Is what happened. I did what I could to help her. She was horrendous.
I know. You know what I realized? Hillary still hates me. So much. I know. She'll never forget me. We should meet to discuss
I
this.
think so too. We can definitely set something up. Let me know whatever
Over
works
Gulf?
best for you.
I was gonna fly back to Florida tomorrow for the Gulf.
Okay. Did you see that? She won't even look at me.
Really? I was told. Some of her people. Apparently they said she fell off the wagon.
I think she actually may have. Sure. And also, she's not really built for this. Amount of pressure, if you're not built for it, will do it.
What's up, guys? That video makes me laugh every time. Did you guys already see that? Too funny. What's going on? We got so much to talk about this week. Holy smokes. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Maybe enjoyed some football. There was one good game out of 7, 8, whatever. So, yeah, that's awesome. But, hey, it is what it is. But, boy, oh boy, what a day. DJT is going absolutely crazy leading up to the inauguration. And we might have some fun in hand the next couple weeks with DJT, especially this week. We got confirmation hearings coming up. Elon's talking about buying TikTok now. What is going on? If it doesn't happen, TikTok's gone on Sunday. Wow. So we're going to cover all that tonight and more with some updates on the wildfires, some other fun stuff. So much going on. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can, give you guys my thoughts in the breakdown so you guys know what's going on. Welcome to the Ace Report, the only place I know of where you get the news from deep dive research people, but you also get the interaction with the community. And speaking of the community, what's going on, peeps? Let's see who is in here tonight. Thomas Dubois, the man, the legend, is numero uno, Hobbs Dose, Big B Trace. Welcome, guys. Country Computers is in. Auto Mags, the one, what to do? Dave R, Cast Sync, Vinman, Stella Artois, Stony Bones, BN Pro, Pat Shagoya, Agent Orange, Purdue, what's up? Just Mike, Kim Wiley, John Cox. Sorry, man. Your Rams game was boring unless the Vikings started coming back. So you can just tune in later, man. I get it. It's playoffs. Watch your team. Watch your team. Kathy, Blake. It's been a while, bro. How you doing, man? DJT, let's go. Michael Tucker, Scott Volkovich, Rum Dog, Linda Telly, Joe Scarpazza, Shogun, and let's see, Frank Anastasio, J Cab, Daddy-O, what's up for Thailand? I love it. Paulie V, Phil Zill, Rum Dog, Lyrical, Alice Christensen, Eric B. Home Run Rams. Ugh. Listen, I can't root for the Rams. They're a Niners rival, so I just have to root against them in every single opportunity. But of course, the Vikings turned into the Vikings again. Sam Darnold turned into the pumpkin again. It is what happens. It tends to happen. And all those people out there trying to say the Niners should have kept Darnold over my boy Purdy, you guys look like the morons now. Because I love what was going on with the Vikings this year. I wanted Darnold to be good, but he's still Darnold. He's still Darnold, and it's just very sad. Wicked, what's up? You haven't burned down from OC Cali? Well, that's good. I know they don't have it all contained yet. Stephen Cromer, my earlier videos, they are the Redskins. I'm sorry, my bad. I should never call them by that fake name, the Commies, which is very fitting for Washington, D.C., by the way. Blake fractured clavicle and plate and screws in. Oh, my God. Let's get the squeezes going then for you. What's up, Chet Youngkin? The Vikings need love. They need love. It seems like God will just not give them anything good except receivers. They always have receivers for some reason, and that's about it. But let's move on to happier talk for my Vikings fans. All right, guys, we've been talking about DJT. Today, I'm leading with the stock news because this is, in my opinion, the biggest news of the day. DJT just going on a rampage, up 21% today, at one point up almost 23%, just absolutely melting faces. Volume way up again. We're at the 44 million. After hours took a little dip. Who cares? That doesn't matter. After hours is weird. Sometimes it rockets after hours. Sometimes they use a chance to short it. But listen, I don't know what it's going to do tomorrow or the day after, but I can tell you, leading into the inauguration, I bet by the end of the week, we see another push on this. And into next week, we also see big things. Talking to the people I know who are much better educated on Wall Street than I am, all Wall Street pros, they all are very bullish right now on DJT. So I hope you guys have been paying attention. I know I've been saying this is my number one stock for a while now. Yes, I might miss some other ones as a result, but I don't think we're going to be disappointed here. This came out of nowhere today. There was no news except for the fact we're heading into 1 week until Trump's inauguration. This week, we're getting all the confirmations. Hearings are starting for his cabinet members. It doesn't mean they'll be voted on this week, but the hearings start tomorrow or Wednesday. I can't remember which day, but I think tomorrow. And the ball's rolling. People are ready to say bye-bye Biden. And as a result, this is looking very tasty. I know, talked to some people today who were able to grab some at around 38, 39 before it started moving up even more. I think that's a good thing. In my opinion, if they push this back down the next couple of days, which is always possible, I don't think we're going to go below high 30s if that happens. The other option is that we enter into something radical starting tomorrow morning because of all the FOMO, and we could see something big. And I wanted to share a comment on my earlier video from the one and only Kit Kittredge, who I don't know if he's on tonight, but I want to shout out his comment because I thought it was really good. And Kit's one of my favorite people when it comes to tracking this stuff. He's just very good at his charts and everything. And he says that, look at October 7th and the volume bump, now squeeze the following 16 days to 57. That was in October when it was down, and the push it made to leading up to the election ran to 57 right before the election. He says, now go back to the 6th when it closed at 1650, go back years when it squeezed to 170. He says it's now January. Target range 97 to 170 to how many counterfeits? That sounds pretty crazy. He says, watch out for a Yellen speech on debt that could outweigh the statistics of CPI and PPI. Use it as an excuse to push it down quick for a few hours, only to ramp it higher. We are no longer in a staggered squeeze. This is it. So I wanted to share that. He shared it publicly, so I believe it was fine for me to do that. He obviously believes that this might be the beginning of a true short squeeze. Listen, folks, I'm not telling you guys what to expect. This could top out at 45, 47 and be done. At least for now. Please do not think I am telling you guys this is going to explode, but I am telling you that it could. Everything looks very spicy for this. BAM Investor, he's still got his highest retest. He's got his next retest at 47 and the following one at 88. And he says if it breaks that, it could go 120 or above. This could get really spicy really quick. So this is not financial advice. I am telling you guys what I am seeing. This by the way, if you guys been listening to me the whole time, this has been a huge win for you. Okay. Huge win, because I've been talking about this all year. I really got excited when it went down to 12 back in October. Saw no reason anybody would want to stay out. And now at this point, we're at 42.5 and pushing. So the opportunity here is massive, not only because this is Trump's stock and he's attached to it. He's got all sorts of people in this incoming administration attached to it. It's heavily naked shorted. If you go back, remembering to the assassination attempt, when it was shorted, something like 15 million shares the day before they tried to take his head off. It's almost like somebody knew, and somebody was worried about what could happen with this stock. So why? I mean, there's a lot of money. In my opinion, my humble opinion, DJT has a better setup right now than GameStop. There it is. I said it. That is my hot take of the day. You guys can read me all you want. I don't care. The way I've been following this, and when you put in the fact that they have not diluted the way GameStop did, which killed the last two GameStop squeezes. GameStop did that. Ryan Cohen diluted, killed the last two squeezes by selling off millions of extra shares. That's fine. It's good for the business. It's good for GameStop long term. I'm not saying those were evil dilution. I'm not calling him Adam Aaron. He did what's good for GameStop long term, and people still got squeezes. But this one, it's different. They have not diluted like that. And again, Trump's fan base, you think the GameStop apes are loyal? MAGA is so loyal. We stuck with the dude when he supposedly caused an insurrection. He had 91 indictments against him, 34 felony counts. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Accused of the most awful things. Left for dead politically in January of 2021. 2 impeachments. Russia. We stuck with the guy and helped him become more popular than ever. And now is the president, and now has the biggest mandate I've seen for any Republican president since Reagan in '84. That is massive. So you think the GameStop apes? Listen, the DJT people getting involved in this are MAGA people who know how to fight and know how to get things done. I'm telling you, this there's no reason to think DJT can't do something special. We've heard that there's anywhere from 500 million to 2 billion naked shorts in this. We don't know. I don't know the number. I don't know if anybody knows it officially, but those are people who've been following it for a long time. This could be something very, very special. What's that in my back? Oh, it's the that's my green screen getting a little wrinkled. Thanks for calling that out, Eric. Jerk. Calling everybody out to my mistakes and my setup. Thanks for that. Let me look at a couple of things here. So Trump, big winner today. He gained $600 million from his DJT stock today. That's over 2 Pelosi's net worth. That was when it was up 15%. So put him closer to 800 million on there. That's the big win, the big comeback for Trump after all they did to him. The man is president and he's just banking. Now all his shares are in a trust, so he can't be accused of, selling, messing up with the markets, anything like that. He's played it very smart. It's put aside so that we can still make this thing run without worrying about him selling it all. That's great news. And meanwhile, his net worth just keeps ticking off. The man just can't lose. He just can't lose. It's unbelievable. Let me see here. A couple opinions. Oh, we're going to talk about that in a minute, Alan. Thomas says, naked short sellers covering DJT or go to prison. It's their choice. Freedom or 3 hots and a cot. That's right. Blast from the past. What is going on? I know it's still there. I'm sorry. I couldn't fix it. Okay. I'm just going to have to do that another time when I have more time. All right. All right. Jeez Louise. All right. We got Ham out there saying word has to be on the street. Naked shorts will be forced to cover. I wonder why. Could it be because Trump comes into office next Monday? Could it be because Pam Bondi is going to be easily confirmed as Attorney General? Could it be because the new SEC chair will be taking seat next Monday? Could it be because Kash Patel is going to be in the FBI seat in the next couple of weeks? Could it be? I don't know. But I'm telling you, if I'm Donald Trump and $6 billion of mine is tied up in a company and they are killing my wealth because these guys have been allowed to run free forever. If I'm Pam Bondi and I have 100,000 shares of DJT and I know these guys are corrupt as hell and messing with my stock, if I'm Kash Patel, who's been on the board of DJT, and I'm seeing what they're doing to my company that I'm trying to help run before I become FBI director, you better believe it's a priority, not just something on my checklist to do later. No, this is a priority. This is a priority. They're not talking about it much, and I think there's a reason for that. I truly believe that Gavin Nome is their chosen voice for this. They're all like, we got other stuff to talk about. We're going out there. We'll all fight our own battles. Gavin, you're in charge of the DJT battle, and he's the perfect person for it. He's the perfect person for it. And what's Gavin been out there doing? He's been calling out naked shorts. He's been calling out manipulation in the markets. He has been doing the work. And because of that, I have no doubt at all that this is on their mind. And that's Gavin Nome, former House Intelligence Chair and also current CEO of DJT and also major long-term Trump loyalist. So I'm telling you, this stuff is going to be fire. And speaking of fire, on day one, somebody just said, Gerald Kramer, welcome, says maybe Trump could sign executive order banning all short selling. It is possible, or at least something like that. Trump, the reports are that Trump on day one is going to sign around 100 executive orders covering the border, the economy, all over the place. 100 executive orders. I think Biden set the record last time with 70. Trump's coming in and going to do 100. I believe a lot of those are going to be undoing most of Biden's. So we'll see that. He might even do a big sweeping one for that. But that means, and listen, this is Trump 2.0. This is better Trump. This is upgraded Trump. This is Trump after 4 years of being in office and then a 4-year break to think about and plan with his team every single thing they wanted to do. These executive orders are not just going to be seat of the pants, not going to be figured out. They are everything he wants to do that he can legally do on day one that they've been thinking about for 4, maybe 8 years. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be, one guy called it a shock and awe campaign of executive orders on day one. So could naked short selling or something about short selling be in there? Absolutely it could. If not, there might be other things pertaining to the markets. I just believe a lot of very exciting things are coming. And guys, it's countdown 6.5 days now. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This has got to be by far the most excited I've ever been for a presidential inauguration. By far. There's been a lot of reasons to be excited in the past, but nothing like this one. Nothing like saying goodbye, bye-bye Biden, because he's just the worst. The absolute worst. This is getting attention as well. So DJT is no longer just being talked about on my channel, a couple other people's channels, and in the dark recesses of Twitter, X, I mean, it is being picked up now by places like Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge, guys, is a major outlet for financial people looking for insights into the economy and markets. So picked up by Zero Hedge is a really big deal. I don't know if you guys remember 2.5 years ago when GTI started moving and it got picked up by Zero Hedge and then it ran to $9. Finger also was in that article and Finger ran to 7. No, Finger also ran to 9. That was the first run. So I'm telling you, when Zero Hedge picks up, a lot of people are watching this. Today was the gamma squeeze. So all the call options getting exercised, a lot of them exercised at 40. Really exciting stuff. And we haven't even hit the short squeeze yet. So much is about to happen. Candace says, really hope they don't pull nasty crap tomorrow at Pete's hearing. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. DJT and Kamal's blood alcohol, they're both going straight up. The only thing is DJT is getting, it's like a fine wine versus a Franzia. Jim Cramer for SEC chair. Eric, have you been paying attention all the last few years? I don't know, man. I don't know. I see Biden's speech today. No, I intentionally ignored it. I just was going to check in if there were notes on it. Alan says California $20 million to prevent the U.S. agents to kick illegal immigrants. Oh, man, that's crazy. Brett, you're on the phone right now with Joe Biden about DJT. Wait, don't have self. Oh, I get it. 8,766 minutes till the GOAT returns. I love it. What kind of graph was that with negative shopping line? Slopping line? What are you talking about? Oh, haha, Vin, you're funny. You guys are funny. I get it. Okay. I see. I feel like in what's it called? There. See, you happy now, Vin? You happy, Eric? I fixed it. Good Lord. This is the part about doing a live show. I get a bunch of trolls, even my buddies on here. So that's fun. Drew says, what are they talking about? Tulsi Gabbard, they're saying she's supporting a spy on America's bill. Listen, the dumbest stuff about Tulsi Gabbard, it's like she's still on, what is it? Well, she's still in the military. She still gets like intelligence reports. She's already vetted. So the stuff they bring up is so stupid. Brett, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Brett. Thanks for reminding me. Like, subscribe as we keep going. So that's, it's fixed. Hit the like. There you go. So that's the spiel on DJT right now, guys. Listen, I'm so excited about what happened today with this stock. I really think, well, let me put it this way. I'm not going to predict, but I'll tell you that based on what we saw today being just day one before, like heading into this week up to the inauguration, DJT tends to squeeze every time it makes moves. It usually moves over 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Okay. So this usually is just day one for DJT. That's usually the trend with DJT, how it's been. Now that could stop. They could kick it down tomorrow. In my opinion, we'll probably see it go back up again tomorrow and then maybe see a down day or nothing exciting. And then it could break back up again towards the end of the week going into next week. I think Bam is especially bullish next week in his model. So I expect is the wrong word, but I am very hopeful and excited that we could see in the next few days, maybe week and a half, we could break 50. And if we break 50, then I think we could break maybe 70 to 80 bucks. And if it starts going, I mean, who knows? Stuff could really get exciting from there if it keeps going. So this inauguration is a big deal. It really is. And they proved it to us today because since there's no reason for it to have gone up other than that. So DJT, you guys do your research, see what you see, but I am very excited about where it's at. I'm very excited, and I'm as all in as I can be right now. I wish I had more to put in. I don't, because I'd be even buying right now if I had any more. But again, not financial advice, just my own opinion, how excited I am about it. But that's where I'm at. If I had more to put in right now, I would, because I don't think this is anywhere close to done. I don't. But that again is just where I'm at. Okay, guys. So just being careful here, not telling you guys what to do. Everybody here knows by now, make your own decisions, be smart, do your own research, and, agree to disagree with me or agree to agree with me, either way. But I'm very excited, and I just, I've had 8 years of betting on Trump, and even though there's been a couple disappointments, overall, I have no regrets. It's always paid off in the long run. So Brett says, I'm thinking with DJT are at the airplane small bottle stage right now, not to the full box. Yeah, exactly. I don't think she's on the no-fly list anymore, Tulsi Gabbard. So John says, buy a membership. I can afford a program engineer for my show. I need a lot more than one membership. But yeah, if everybody put in, I think on the $3 membership for the members' lives, yeah, I could eventually get to a producer for the show. All right, let's move on to the next thing. So this is crazy. All right, because since Elon already got Twitter, and now TikTok's on about to be banned come this Sunday. So let's talk about that. Personally, there's a lot of free speech stuff, all that. I don't like that aspect of TikTok disappearing, but here's the deal. It's owned and run by China. Okay. There's a lot of American stuff involved. I believe they store our data on American servers, stuff like that. But the algorithm is controlled by China. And so I don't know if you guys have seen the crazy stuff where the algorithm shows in China that all the kids get educational content, and in America, they all get mind-numbing content. So they're doing that on purpose. TikTok is basically a giant psyop to collect our data originally before they got the servers here, which who knows what access they still have to those, and then to make us dumber. It's just a fact. Although some people have threaded that needle and done very successful on TikTok, including Ian Carroll is one of my favorite people to watch content-wise. Having said that, even the Supreme Court, which is conservative, couldn't find a good reason not to allow TikTok to be banned. That's saying a lot. Okay, so that China ties, that's a big deal. So as of Sunday, unless somebody buys TikTok, it's gone. So if you guys like TikTok, let's just say, I hope you're not making money on TikTok, because that's going to be the worst for the people who've built careers on TikTok. It's going to be crushing. Personally, I'd be fine with it being gone. I hate TikTok. I just think it's insane. I've never been able to get into it. But if Elon buys it, this is what I see happening. I think Elon would merge it into X in some way and lift it. By the way, TikTok's also one of the most heavily censored programs as well. Okay. So if Elon actually does this, he'll turn it into like the video version of X, which that could be a lot of fun, especially with integrations. So I'm on the side of, let's see if this happens. That would be awesome. If not, the other option that I heard floated out there, and I honestly don't think this is going to happen, but I want to bring it up just to speculate. There's been speculation of somehow DJT Trump Media maybe putting together a package deal with some investors and buying it. Now, if that happens, DJT is just like, there's no telling how high it'll go. When you package where it's already at, plus adding TikTok, I mean, holy smokes. I'm very doubtful that'll happen. Okay, very doubtful. But the idea alone just gets me a little excited, so I'm watching carefully. And then I literally just saw before I got on tonight, Mr. Beast tweeted that I'll buy TikTok. Now, Mr. Beast is worth like $1 billion. He's going to need a lot more than that to buy TikTok. If X costs $44 billion, TikTok's going to be a lot more expensive than that. But this, there's some interesting things here. So it says in this CNBC story, it says the Chinese government's considering a plan for Elon Musk to acquire TikTok's U.S. business. Contingency plans, one of several options China is exploring as U.S. Supreme Court determines whether to uphold the law. They are upholding it. And a TikTok spokesperson said in an email, we can't be expected to comment on pure fiction. So again, I mean, this was reported by Bloomberg and now CNBC. So, fairly in this area, usually reputable, but there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of all over the place with this story. But so after the deadline on the 19th, third-party internet services are penalized for supporting TikTok's operations in the country. And so that's how they're going to make everybody stop. And what I've heard is that it could, if you still have the app, just the content could just disappear. It's going to be weird. I don't think we've ever seen something like this happen before, except for maybe when Parler was taken off of Amazon servers, something like that. But definitely not this scale. But as of the 19th, it's done. So isn't that interesting, too, that they did it right before Trump's inauguration? That's kind of weird because TikTok is way more left than not. But anyways, but here's some interesting thoughts on it. I like Clandestine. He's got some good stuff on X. It says Bloomberg reports Chinese officials are in preliminary talks about selling TikTok to Elon. Be game changer in the mass awakening. If Elon's able to change TikTok the way he changed Twitter, truth will get more exposure. Public perception will continue to shift away from false reality deep state created via the MSM. Future generations begin moving away from woke programming to return to normalcy. Obviously, you'll have to wait and see, but intriguing. And I agree with everything he said. This would be huge for younger viewers seeing more content that's unfiltered and just waking people up. The other thing, though, is that I just don't know how you can put this deal together in a week. When Elon announced he wanted to buy X or Twitter, you guys remember how long that took? It took like 5 or 6 months to finally get it all together and complete the deal. I think he announced in April or May, and it was finally completed in October. I think that sounds right to me, but I could be wrong on that. I could be remembering that wrong. But usually these deals don't just happen in 6-7 days. So that's the other part. Would an agreement with Elon or anybody, would even that be enough to keep it going? I don't know. But the lefties are not happy. This is their stuff. So we're on the street as ace benches 350. Yeah, not so much. But I used to be able to bench almost 300, but I was in a lot better shape back then. Vince says Elon's not getting TikTok. TikTok's not going away, in your opinion. The question, though, then, Vince, is who takes it. I do agree it's going to be very strange to see TikTok disappear. But if nobody takes it, I just don't know how they pull that out there. Thomas, if DJT's over 1 billion shorts, who wants to place a friendly guess on 3 to 4 digit price? I agree. I mean, I think it's very possible. John Roach says so much junk on TikTok, some good things, music, Trump conservative. There are some good things, but that's also heavily censored whenever you try to go really deep diving on stuff. I know I've had videos. I tried to just do some stuff on TikTok once upon a time. I had lots censored. Brett, not really a bad deal. We get rid of Biden on Sunday. TikTok and the same, too bad. Newsom's not wrapped up in the bundle. No joke. That would be great. Throw Newsom in there. Wicked says, feels like Jesus returns going scorched earth on Democrats. Not quite. They're still around to fight. So, Mark, are we at 60 likes? Come on, guys. We got 190 watching. Just take a second. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's get over 100. Help my algorithm. Let's boost this video. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. That's all I ask. That and a subscribe if you're new. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes, Kevin O'Leary is in a bid for it as well with a group of investors. There's a lot of people trying to save this. Let me put it that way. There's a lot of people interested in it. TikTok's a gold mine. And you better believe that if it's Kevin O'Leary or Elon or somebody else, they're going to find a way to monetize it. The problem, though, is this. The problem is this, is that ByteDance and the Chinese government are refusing to, if whoever buys this, they're only getting to operate TikTok in the US on servers, stuff but they do not have access to the algorithm. China will still control the algorithm. And so that is the one part that might not be that great, but that doesn't mean China will be controlling the sensors or how it runs. Okay. So it could still be opened up, but the algorithm, they're still going to be trying to just make it go to junk for Americans and stuff. So, John Roach says, was the first Democrat to turn Republican Ronald Reagan. That's a great question. I highly doubt it, but he's probably the most famous original to do it. So, all right, let's move on. I got some other stuff I want to catch up with. So, confirmation hearings start tomorrow. According to this, there are enough votes to confirm all his nominees. Now, this is from Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. If it's from one senator, it's probably true, because the Senate is a very tight-knit group. They stick together. They're a club. They are the oligarchy of our country. Oligarchy means ruled by few. One of the reasons America is so beautiful is because it combines. It's so smart. We combine the best parts of all these different governments. So you have the best parts of a monarchy in the executive branch, which is foreign policy, response to emergencies, all that. Then you have the oligarchy, which is the House and the Senate, especially the Senate, though. It's like they're the group. They pass laws, yada, 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 control the purse strings. And you have the judiciary, which is ruled by law, republic. And then you have and then we get to vote on them all. So you get democracy. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful system. But the Senate is very close knit. There's only 100 of them. They all know each other. They're there for 6 years each. They talk, they get to know each other. And it's a big deal to be a senator. They know. So if this is true, I probably, if he actually said this, it's probably true, which is excellent. Very exciting. Let's just get them all through. And if they all get through, guys, watch out. It's gonna be nuts. In fact, Pam Bondi came out and said she will release the Epstein client list and every name on it unless they're a child victim or cooperating. I mean, that's exciting. That's exciting. And Bondi is a shoo-in to get in. So Epstein list. Hope it's coming soon. Trump just met with Democrat John Fetterman down at Mar-a-Lago. So they had a great meeting. Fetterman's been coming out saying we need to give these guys a chance on stuff. Just saying all the right things of a moderate, old school Democrat who knows his constituency in Pennsylvania. They voted for Trump. He wants to stay a senator. He's going to have to vote moderately. And so if we get one, there's probably going to be a couple others who come over as well, especially in swing states, especially in red states. So this is excellent news. Let's get them all over. Let's get Pam Bondi and all these others. And man, if they do this, guys, and listen, credit to John Thune, who I didn't originally like. Credit to him for pushing this forward, because he's living up to his word. He used to be pretty moderate Republican. Some would say a rhino. But now that he's a Senate leader, he actually is pushing Trump's confirmations to go fast. He's pushing the agenda, getting stuff done. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is going to be a great week. I will be covering as much as I can if there's anything interesting about the hearings the next couple of days. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night, Wednesday, and Thursday as I go through those, because we could see fireworks, especially in the Pete Hegseth one. I think there's going to be a couple of hearings that get pretty interesting. Mark R. says, Martin Luther King Day Monday. Isn't that awesome? You say he'd be proud to share his day with Donald Trump. I think I agree with you, actually. Martin Luther was definitely no slouch, and just he wasn't a side picker either. So I think I actually really agree with that. I think it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Fortuitous that Trump's being inaugurated on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, because I think Trump is going to be the president who starts healing these racial wounds in our country. And listen, the racial wounds in our country were well on the way to being healed in many ways. We were doing really well. Not perfect. Not saying we were perfect. We still had work to do, but it was going really well until Obama came and stoked the fires. And Obama purposely did that. He did it, A, to galvanize minorities to vote for him more, and B, to create more of a divide in our country and paint the people he didn't like, be able to paint them as racist and put them down. Obama is the most divisive president in the modern era. He came in with hope and change and unity, but the truth is the man just used every opportunity he could to drive a wedge between us. And that I do believe that Trump is the one turning the tide on that. And that's why he got a higher share of the black vote than any Republican since the 1960s. He got the highest Hispanic vote for a Republican in history. I believe he won the Indian vote, the Native American vote. Excuse me. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna say it. So, anyways, I think he's gonna bring it together, and I think that's a sign. You know, God speaks in signs, and I believe in that stuff. So. Brett says, I'm hoping the Vandalay Industries and Kramerica will make a bid for TikTok, but they deal in latex, Brett. I don't know if it's for them. Stephen Cromer says, is it possible we could gain senators and House seats if Cash investigates and discovers election irregularities? 100%. But you got to do it fast. So if you find election irregularities in the first, probably year of a term, yes, I would say that absolutely. And I don't know. We've never dealt with this before on a federal level. It's been done in states before, but never been done on a federal level. So the question is, would you seat the other person, or would you hold a runoff election that's closely monitored, all that? That's the question we don't know. And I believe that would probably end up in the Supreme Court. But yes, you absolutely, because if it's found that somebody was seated illegally because of illegal votes, they would have to be taken out. And so, yes, Stephen, I would say that's absolutely possible. Because there's nothing in the Constitution that says once you're seated, you can't be unseated if anything illegal happened. All right. Alan Gomez says, Trump going to exclusively announce the biggest news in U.S. history or even world history on Truth Social, UFO info, and JFK files? Yeah, I believe that's true, that he said he will make big announcements first on Truth Social. So that will continue to be, because that's the main value of that platform. If Trump stops using that platform as his exclusive place, Truth Social in general lose its value for now. So... Just Mike says, if Pete gets confirmed right off the bat, will open the floodgates of confirmation. I agree with that. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Thomas, you're moving to Florida, Pam Bondi. Wicked. Name the last time America has turned this hard of momentum against so much evil at home, besides the time America threw the crown out. It'd be very difficult to say another time when we have an opportunity to do as much. Lincoln would be one that came to mind because of all he accomplished. And then obviously the Revolutionary War. And I can't think of another time in history where there was such a turnaround, where America was so different in the beginning from a movement to the end. So yeah, this would be the third biggest turn ever. If Trump's able to pull it all off, and I do believe he will be. Vinman, if federal lands are burnt in California due to Dem negligence or worse, will the feds have jurisdiction to prosecute? Yeah, federal land. Absolutely. Pam, wasn't there some anomalous voting in the Senate race in Wisconsin? I believe so, but we'd have to look. Breaking news, the Vikings still suck. Poor Vikings. Don't beat up on the Vikings. They've had a rough go of it. Speaking of the fires, this is... interesting. So, well, let's just watch the clip of old Gavin here and just the sickness. He's down with the sickness.
I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor.
Gavin bouncing up and down like a little school child, very excited, is now talking about his conversation he has with the Hawaii governor about sales on this land. There was a story going around that Gavin has approved the zoning to be changed in the Palisades to now allow apartments. And there's a lot of word that BlackRock and stuff are already looking into this area. Now, this is just evil, by the way, especially if he's pushing people out, even though these are rich people. There are a lot of speculations on there, but let me just go through this real quick. Red flag, Gavin Newsom excitedly danced as he says he spoke with Hawaii Governor Josh Green about land use ideas, already his legal teams to move forward. Speculators coming in, buying up properties. Yeah. So one of the speculations, and I'm saying it's a speculation because I have no way of knowing, but that this is, there's a lot of factors here. This is an opportunity for land grab by BlackRock and other investment firms like that coming in, buying up land from people who've been, their lives changed, their houses gone, taking advantage of these people who are suffering. And which again, the richest people, they're really not suffering. They're fine. It sucks that they lost personal stuff, maybe some, remembrance stuff that you can't replace. That sucks. I feel bad for everybody whose house burnt down. But there's other people who've been losing their houses that held these houses for 50, 60 years, bought them when they were affordable, held on to them, raised their kids there. Regular people lost their houses, even in places like the Palisades. So, and that's the real heartbreaking stuff. And you better believe this is mostly who's going to be taken advantage of. But the other speculation out there, or theory floating, is that a lot of the dark stuff that many people, and I can't really go into it here, maybe on our members live on Wednesday, I'll go into it. But on a public live on YouTube, I'm just going to have to be a little more careful. But there's just the dark stuff that's been speculated that goes on in Hollywood and in other places in our country, that this is being used as a cover-up, burning up a lot of that evidence. Is that possible? Absolutely, it's possible. Absolutely. Do I think that's the main reason behind this or anything? I don't know at this point. I think I need to see more. At this point, this is such a disaster. It's so monstrous. It's clearly on purpose. The question is by who and for who. I think Gavin here has given us a good clue. But from there, it's like, I don't believe in coincidences. But I do believe sometimes we can read things into stuff just because we want to believe it. And so we got to be careful. But, so listen, Gavin's, Californians, I hope you're waking up. Let me just put it that way. Wake the F up. Why are you voting these people in? And I know that I don't feel like we can trust elections in California. I grew up there. I know it's way more moderate. The people are way more moderate and even conservative than what we get. But there's still enough people, just like in this last election, voting for these morons that it makes it possible. Okay. And it's just like, wake up. LA, wake up. If this doesn't wake you up, nothing will. This guy, Karen Bass, your horrible mayor, your DEI fire department, the insanity in California. It's like this ultimately, in my opinion, if there's a waking up that happens in California as a result of this, it'll ultimately be a good thing for the state now in the future of the state, because a waking up has to happen. And my hope is that it will happen and can happen, because California in this last election, I think Trump got 1.5 million more votes than he got in 2020 in California. 1.5 million. He still lost by like 25, 30 points, but that's a substantial move towards Trump versus where they were before. Remember, California has the most votes in the nation. So that's a big move. And that tells me Californians are already waking up, and hopefully this pushes enough of them further over that maybe they might be smart enough to elect somebody like Nicole Shanahan as governor. She's going to be running, I believe, in 2028 as governor of California. So, maybe that's where it goes. Or 2026, I'm sorry. It's only 2 years away. 2 more years of the handsome evil man over there. So hopefully that happens quick. All right, let me see here in the chat. Just Mike lived in Minnesota 31 years. Some things never change. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about your team, man. I tried to warn people about Darnold, but then even he started to convince me maybe he changed, and now the last 2 weeks kind of prove he didn't. Sounds like turning into 15-minute cities. Yeah, I just don't think that's ever going to be fully possible in America now that we've turned the country back red. Gavin dances like he's on the gypsy dust from Mexico. How much land is Oprah going to buy? That's a good question. That's a real good question. There's also underinsurance and no house insurance. Homeowners are screwed. That's right, especially in regards to fire. Allstate pulled out last year. So Queefer says, speaking of evil, Resnicks control water in California for their own use. Not only that, they own the company that's responsible for the fish report as a reason to reroute the water. Wow. I heard about that family owning that. That's crazy. That's absolutely only in California could that be allowed. That's insane. Yeah, Biden's giving them 770. In fact, Californians rejoice because there's one person who's ready to help. And after this clip, I know you guys will feel very comforted. Kamala, tell us what you got.
And so it's critically important.
Hold on. Volume's really low there.
And so it's critically important that to the extent you can find anything that gives you an ability to be patient in this extremely dangerous and unprecedented crisis, that you do. And so it's critically important that to the extent you can find.
You guys feel better yet? They're coming to your aid. Kamala's got this. What is this? We'll turn the sound off. We don't need to hear her voice anymore. But look at the body language. Here it comes. She trying to do the Godfather? I tell you, we're going to help out. And then look at the way she holds her pen. I've never seen this before. It's almost like she's, well, I don't want to be offensive to anybody who might be disabled, but you don't hold a pen like this. It looks like she looks like she has the little hand from Scary Movie. I'm just like, yeah, and oh my God. We got 6 more days of this, people. 6 more days, and then she's finally gone. But California, guess what? They see you. They see you. They hear you in this. Well, what did she say? Dangerous situation.
And unprecedented crisis.
An unprecedented crisis. So thank you, Kamala. Your $770 should really help out, though, with that. Unbelievable. Donkey says, many of the last few fires in this one as well fall on land that would be needed to finish the high-speed train to nowhere. Wow. Well, that's interesting. Maybe an excuse to get it out, like stop doing that ridiculous waste of money. Like. Thank you, John. Please like, share, subscribe. Brett Montgomery, with the insurance, you have been in the industry for years. State Farm has been non-renewing policy since early 2000s. First started with flood insurance and moved into fire losses. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Just 100 hours speed. Yeah. You get a visceral reaction watching her speak. EPA will shut you down for collecting rainwater. Resnicks can get away with murder. This is true. It's very true. Yep. Kamal's verklempt. Elon should not buy TikTok. You buy California. Well, listen, Elon's rich, but nobody's rich enough to buy the 5th largest economy in the world. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Brett says, big thing about was a lack of response. Environmentalists blocking the maintenance of open range areas lead to housing developments. Fires in California is up 400% 30 years. Yeah, and that has nothing to do with climate change, by the way. And I know I might get a strike for that, for saying that, but listen, that's just not what's happening. This is, if there was climate, if climate change was what they said it was, they would actually be working hard to prevent it and actually moving to do more stuff to prevent all this damage, but they're not. So they don't even believe their own nonsense. This is coordinated. This is allowable on purpose, you know? And then they have money for this. Now this is crazy. This is just the audacity, the shamelessness of announcing something like this when the wildfires are raging in your state, costing upwards of maybe $200 to $250 billion. Your state is collapsing. The economy of the state will collapse under all this weight, under this black swan event that could actually impact the U.S. economy as well, especially the stock market. If insurances start going broke, all this stuff, this craziness that's about to happen. And yet, Governor Newsom and the California Democrats proudly announce they've reached a $50 million agreement to shore up state and local legal defenses against the incoming Trump administration a week ahead of his inauguration. Half the money goes to fending off mass deportation plan the new president might enact early in his administration. And to this, I said, Trump should immediately, when he's in charge of the emergency funds, he should call up Newsom and be, hey, Gavin, I heard that you have $50 million that you're going to use against me if I want to get the illegals out. So, Gavin, I do a terrible Trump, but it's still kind of fun to try. So, Gavin, you're going to have to just, that $50 million you want to use against me, you're going to have to divert that fund into the fires, fight the fires. And if you do that, then I could release some more of my funds to help you out. So, Gavin, I think that's what we should do. I would never allow this to happen if I was Trump. If they're using money that for this instead of fighting those fires and repairing people, you got to divert it. You have to. So that's where Trump, listen, he's going to have a lot of, I do a Godfather as Trump. That's what it is. So, Gavin, I'm telling you, you want to go to the mattresses? We'll go to the mattresses. I'll offer you $50 million. I loved you like a son. I'll stop. I promise I will. No, I won't. Trump's got a lot of leverage over Newsom coming in. This is going to be an awesome opportunity for him to use it, and he needs to. And the other thing they're going to use it for, which I'm so glad that the Republicans are finally getting a spine, they're going to tie up these federal dollars for assistance. They're going to tie it up. The talk is now tying it up in the debt ceiling fight, which makes it so the Democrats have almost zero way of not working with Republicans on that bill. So this could be a huge silver bullet for Trump that allows him to just get a lot of these fights with Democrats through quickly. Because what Democrat is going to be able to avoid voting for all those funds that go to California? They'll try, they'll cry about it, but eventually they'll cave because California is their golden goose. It's the last beacon of hope for liberalism in America. And that's going to fall, not the whole state, but the state will be reformed. The liberalism in there is going to fall over the next 4 to 8 years. Just watch. It's going to significantly go down. California can come back. It really can. We just got this. This could be a turning point. So they got to use it. They got to show some spine. The freaking Democrats already did to the Republicans. They made all that federal money that was going to go to North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida over that hurricane. They tied that up in their last bill. They made it wait. And that's how they were going to try to pass that $1,500 1,500 page continuing resolution using that against the Republicans. It didn't work, and still got, but they tried. And so the Republicans, though, have a much bigger, they're waving a much bigger stick. So, yeah, 15 million. Brett says, I wish Trump would ask Newsom for accounting of the money. It's already been saying here in the last 6 years. Yes, they should audit California as well. Kamal's going to help us with restoring. Rumdog says Camel-Toe wants to be next governor of California. She wants to be, but I'm telling you, Californians, they can surprise you sometimes. And with what just happened with the fires, by the way, Californians already hate Newsom. A bunch of liberals already hate Newsom. Kamal is a big loser. She just lost on the national stage. They don't really like her in California. She was attorney general. She wasn't popular. Okay. So, Kamala runs as governor, and she's going up against Nicole Shanahan, who's like an RFK Jr. type Democrat, who's now fits much better in the MAGA like Republican movement than she does on the left. Oh, you better believe I think Nicole Shanahan would kick her ass. I'm sorry, I just really do. So, and that would be awesome. That would be awesome because Nicole Shanahan, even if she has disagreements with Trump, even if she has disagreements with J.D. Vance when he's president, which he will be, she'll still work with them. She'll get along with them, and she'll be common sense. So California could still be liberal under her, but classic liberal, like old school liberal, not insane woke tard liberal. And that's a huge win. That's a huge win. And we can keep California in much better check that way. And maybe down the road, maybe even turn red over time. So Rumdog, Trump needs to put California in receivership, take over management, oust Newsom. Our infrastructure needs complete overhaul. I know. Yeah. Peter says, my mic is low. Is my mic low tonight? It's showing that it goes up. It's reading pretty well. I don't know. Sorry, it's low. I'll work on that. I think one of the reasons, Peter, is because I do my videos live and I don't have a professional setup, and most videos you watch are edited so they can increase the volume. And that's probably one of the reasons you notice a difference on my videos. Big B, if the elections were legit in Cali, I wouldn't be able to say. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree, Wicked. Yeah, same thing. Michael Tucker, did Newsom cheat to get in? I mean, maybe not the first time, but the second one, it's very debatable, especially when he was recalled and then won that. Formerly Wrong Way Corrigan moved White House to Los Polos Verde Trump Club, build a big moat against the fires. Goodwill, listen, I think a 22% move up is definitely in one day it counts as exploding, and several people believe this is just the beginning. So I disagree with you. So, but you're always negative. So what else do I expect from you? Michael Anthony, look how cheap MFA is. I'll look at it. I don't know enough though to get excited about it. Jim, DJT should appoint Kamal as poop scoopers are. That would be a really good place for her. I think that would work. So, all right, guys, on that note, just breaking through the hour mark. It's a good time to leave. It's getting late. So tomorrow we got more to watch. I'm watching DJT very closely. I don't think it's done, but again, be careful, have your ideas of where it could go, and make sure to take profits along the way if you're trading it. Also, we got the hearings this week. I'll be covering those in as much detail as I can if they're interesting, and I'm sure we're going to see some interesting stuff, so that's going to be really exciting. And then obviously I'll be following up on this TikTok stuff, and then whatever else comes up, wildfires, all this stuff, it's crazy. Oh, Act Blue. Yeah, let me talk about Act Blue for a second. So on one thing out there is that Elizabeth Warren and several other Democrats are diverting people to Act Blue to donate to the fires. And they're lying and saying it's 100% going to the fires when actually it's a front for Act Blue keeps 4% of all the donations, almost 4%, which means they will. It's like a way to fund Democrats, a backwards way. So it's pretty messed up. So thanks for bringing that up, Alan Krantz. Wicked, can I do a members talking about all this, how it could be tied to biblical? Wicked, can you be more specific on what you're asking for before I go so I can address that? DJT to 1,000. I'm not expecting DJT to go to 1,000, but could it break 100, 120 and maybe do something above that if it really gets going? Yeah, absolutely. But listen, I'm past the point of believing anything that we expect to go to 1,000 will get there. I think if it happens, we got lucky, or lucky might be the wrong word. If it happens, we caught lightning in a bottle. So that, so I'm not out there saying that kind of stuff anymore, because I just don't know how helpful it is. It's better to be smart. It's better to make good decisions in trading, use what we've learned. And still we can get excited about a lot of stuff. Wicked, scripture showing this point in time. Well, so Wicked, I'll just say I've already done classes on this, in my Patreon, which I might make public, now that it's been almost a year. I have other stuff I'm getting ready to do on my Patreon. But anyways, I really break down why I don't believe that Revelation, prophecy, and all that stuff is actually about this time period. I just don't. And I think the historical evidence is overwhelming as to why it's not. And because I've studied all that, I just can never, I used to believe all that and I don't anymore. So, but yeah, Wicked, on the members live, if you want to ask me more detailed questions, feel free. Okay. All right, Candace, good night. Love you. Have a great night. You guys, love you all. Let's pray and get out of here. So, all right, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for all you're doing, Lord. Thank you for Trump in 6.5 days. So excited. Are getting our country back on track. And Lord, just bless everybody in this community. Bless our country. Keep our leaders safe. And yeah, God, I just pray that this is just the beginning, that we just see shock and awe these next 4 years of just things getting done that we never thought could get done. Just I want to be in awe and amazed this whole time at how much we're getting our country back on track and things getting fixed that people never said could never get fixed. That's what I want to see. So bless us all. God, anybody who needs healing, I pray for them. Pray for Country Computer's aunt. And I know she's, that's a sad story. So I pray that, that all turns around, and, pray for all Vikings fans, because they really need comfort in this terrible time. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Love you guys. God bless you. DJT didn't halt once, so that's awesome. Katie Cat comes in at the end with 10 memberships. Thank you, Katie. That's amazing. Please like, subscribe before you leave. I appreciate that. Katie, thank you always for the amazing support you give, and everybody else, members especially. Members Live Wednesday. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Katie, that was a great little good night present, so I appreciate it. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.